Wow, guys, it's that special time of year. It's Halloween! Yay! Of course, there's a very good chance this video is only going to be uploaded on the 1st of November? Sorry. I got a special story for you guys, just to get into that spooky spirit. Today, we're going to be reading the 2009 Roblox Halloween update, whatever the 2009 Halloween update, I guess it's called. Roblox creepypasta. Fix that hair. God, I'm real excited for this one. I think you guys are gonna like it. So, oh God, what'd I do? So with that being said, let's quit the yapping and start the slapping. The 2009 Halloween update. It was a late night, and there was not much to do on Roblox now that most of my friends had gone to bed. The ones that were awake played games I had no interest in. A thought clicked into my head to play one of those mirror games that had just came out. Being as tired as I was, I had misclicked on the catalog. My attention was captured by a reddish-black decorated background, and in this background was a silhouette of a Robloxian with crimson eyes. I had thought Roblox was just setting the mood for some new Halloween update or something, remembering it was mid-October, so I had dismissed it as something silly that was supposed to scare us. I continued my search as I clicked on games. The background had returned to its normal state, but the Robloxian remained in its place. I tried to ignore this as I typed in mirror in the search bar. After entering my search, the Roblox sign was appeared in a bloody font, reading Zorbor, or Roblox backwards, and the background had made its return as well. At that point, I sort of was kind of disturbed, but I had continued to move on, still eager to end my night with a memory, a fun game, and not a memory to fuel my nightmares. I clicked on the mirror place that seemed most appealing to me and joined. I can recall the place had the words Halloween Update in it, but I saw nothing but a few decals of cobwebs hanging here and there. Nevertheless, as promised, the game contained a reflection of my Robloxian, which had mirrored my movements. Midway in a game, a blinding light had flooded my camera. I paused in shock for a few moments, before coming to a conclusion that it was nothing but a light effect. I continued to cheerfully play the game, letting the previous events slip from my mind. All was joyful until I had noticed my mirror-reflected copy was missing from my view. I scanned around the map with the camera to find the copy sitting on a box a few studs away from mine, its back towards me. The ambient grew dark. I experienced another flash of lightning before the glass shattered, breaking the barrier between us two. I stood in a frozen position, staring at the copy, too afraid to do anything now. After a few minutes of stillness, the Robloxian turned towards me. Its eyes were red like the silhouettes, but in addition, had bloody, decaying teeth. Another flash of lightning filled the screen. My Robloxian was now on the ground, being burned by the copy. It just laid there and burned, turning blacker within a second as a coat of smoke wrapped around its limbs. I positioned the camera up from the crisp body to see that my copy was close to the screen, gazing back at me. Before my Robloxian could respawn itself, I exited the hell out of there. I have abandoned the account this happened to me on. Since then, there has not been any strange occurrences, as of if on the accounts I own today, but it still edges me, today, to join games alone. Well, that was pretty spooky. I've never played a mirror game, so I have no idea what that is, but if all of a sudden that little clone of yours decided to go evil, break the glass and burn you, just cuz, that would be pretty gosh damn scary, if I am being honest here. But I have to say, I'm a little sad that it's all over so soon, so why don't we read one more? This next story, keeping with tonight's theme of Halloween, we have a story simply titled Halloween 2012. Here we go. It was a couple months after I first joined Roblox, and I wanted to see everything it had to offer. I played games like Hole in the Wall, welcome to Roblox building, build to survive the zombies and the like. I made a whole bunch of friends, and things just got better. I had recently bought OBC, Outrageous Builders Club, and decided to go into some BC-only games. It wasn't much, to be honest. Fast forward, a few years later, I stopped playing for a bit until Halloween of 2012. I hadn't really participated in events until now, so I decided to give it a try. I pressed play, but it teleported me to an entirely different game. It was one of those who killed obbies. I was rather annoyed, but decided to complete it anyway. It was the usual. Music from some game that was out at the time, lava jumps, platforming, as well as some puzzles. What awaited me at the end was a cart ride. I saw a rather large platform that had item givers, one of those paint-yourself things, face changes, as well as hats you could wear. I jumped in, pressed the forward button, and eventually came to a stop. The music came to a halt, and I was a tad bit annoyed. I pressed the reverse button and tried to move forward again. The same wall stopped me. I moved my camera behind me, and I could have sworn I saw some sort of giant face in the distance. In about a second, the face immediately moved towards my camera and made this ear rape noise that made me jump and turn off the volume. The tracks disappeared, and I fell into this strange room. I was in this rather big but minimalistic cave. I moved forward, and it felt like I wasn't moving at all, and I had this feeling of dread. The utter silence didn't help either. After what felt like minutes, I found a pedestal with a blue orb on it, and a door with some sort of strange language behind it. I picked up the orb, and the door opened. Behind said door was a path leading to a grassy area in the middle of the night. After another while of walking, I found a red orb. I picked it up and decided to head back into the cave. The entrance changed to a giant door with two small slots where I could drop the orbs into. After doing just that, the giant door disappeared, and I was met with a mid-air platforming area with zero room for mistakes. There was a giant void below, which made me a bit nervous. With a whole bunch of close calls, I platformed up to a small room that contained a yellow orb. The platforms were in different areas, which made it harder to get back down, but I eventually did. The room changed yet again, but this time to a small room that had a door, as well as buttons on the floor I could press down that looked like a keypad of sorts. On the wall was a very obvious hint: creation date. After looking at my account's creation date, I jumped on the according buttons, and the door opened, revealing a green orb. I tried looking behind me, but I couldn't. It wasn't a mouse or keyboard problem or anything. My camera very slowly turned around. A door and two more deposit slots where I could put my orbs appeared. I dropped them in, and the final door opened. I was back to the grassy area again, but this time, I heard noises. It sounds like short bursts of static. I didn't know where the sound was coming from, so I kept walking, and they seemed to get closer, then suddenly get further away. After standing still for a moment, I saw an entirely black character in the sky. I could hardly notice it at first, but when I did, the figure teleported directly to me, a loud noise played, and the client crashed. Days passed, and eventually, I could still see and hear the figure. I asked everyone if they're seeing and hearing what I am, but they either thought I was joking, or I was flat out crazy. Every time, it ends up with the figure teleporting to me, the same sound playing, and my client crashing. Eventually, I checked my recently played games and rejoined that fake Who Killed obby. Instead of going to the beginning, I was immediately teleported to the grassy field. This time, the figure was teleporting in circles around me very quickly. After trying to escape, the inevitable happens. This time, he had a face. It was a low-quality image of an actual face, but badly bloodied and beaten. I was rather spooked and decided to take a break and stop playing Roblox for a bit. A couple weeks or so later, I come back, and I have never seen the figure or the game ever again. But even though the figure was gone, I still sometimes heard those short bursts of static in some of the games I play today. If you hear those short bursts of static or see an entirely black figure trying to blend in with the sky, close the game and try to join a different one. If that doesn't work, and he keeps stalking you, try to play on an alt for a bit until he stops showing up. Thank you for taking the time to read this and have a nice day. Smiley face. Wow, this one was much better, I would say. I really like it whenever they actually describe what's going on in a game and don't just say, I was in a place and there was blood everywhere and it was scary. Because now I can actually visualize what the hell is going on. Of course, I never really thought an obby was that scary. Maybe he couldn't beat one of the hard ones and decided to go on a rampage, hacking other players and just killing them. Who knows? For that is the nature of mystery. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe on Halloween, even if it's already passed by the time this video's up. I hope you get some chocolate. Be seeing you guys.